Are you a dinosaur kid interested by movies like Jurassic Park and things like dinosaurs, raptors, those sorts of things? Well, this Seraphon army list that I'm going to be showing you today brings the raptors and dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, paleontology to Age of Sigmar. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe and we'll get into the rest of the video. Please stay tuned and let me know if you like what you see. The army list that we'll be employing today is from the battle formation of the Sunclaw Starhost, and the ability they get from that is the Vengeance of Azir. This ability allows you to pick up to 3 friendly Saurus or Crocscore units that are in combat to be the targets. For each of those targets, you make a pile-in move, then pick an enemy unit in combat with the target and roll a d3. On a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage on the enemy equal to the roll. Onto the list, it is led by a Saurus Scar Veteran on Aggradon for 190 points, and the relics that he has is the Incandescent Retrices and the Reptilian Cunning. The 2 units of Aggradon Lancers at 220 pieces rounds off that regiment. The 2nd regiment, led by the Ripperdactyl Chief, comes in at 130 points, and then 2 units of Ripperdactyl Riders follow up on that regiment at 110 points apiece. The Incandescent Retrices artifact allows the Source Scar Veteran on Aggradon to heal D3 in any hero phase, making him much more resilient. While as the Reptilian Cunning passive ability that he gains from this ability is if this unit charges this turn, if a friendly unit wholly within 12 of this unit uses the all-out attack command in the combat phase, no command points are spent, allowing you to aggressively act without having to spend your command points. As for your Saurus Scar Veteran on Aggradon's stats, he has a 10-inch move, 8 health, 2 control, and a 4-up save. His Aggradon's Rending Bites and Striking Talons have 3 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s, rend of 2, and damage of 2. And then his Celestite Spear or Club has 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, rend of 2, and damage of 2, with getting a bonus damage on the charge. And he has 2 abilities, the first of which is at the end of any turn with Primal Rage. You must use this ability each turn, and if he has used any fight abilities, you place a Rage token next to it, to a maximum of 3. If it did not use any fight abilities, remove all Rage tokens that it does have, and you add 1 to the attack characteristic of his companion weapons, so those Aggradon bites, for each Rage token it has until the end of the next turn. And then once per battle, you have the Alpha Roar, which you can pick this unit and each friendly Aggradon Lancer's unit wholly within 12 to be the targets. You add 1 to the attack characteristic of the target's companion weapons for the rest of the turn. In addition, place a Rage token next to each target to a maximum of 3 per unit. The Aggradon Lancers themselves have a 10-inch move, 5 health apiece, a control of 2, and a 4-up save. Their Aggradon's Rending Bites and Striking Talons have 3 attacks apiece, 4 up to hit, 3 up to wound, rend 2, 2 damage, and their companion weapons. And the Celestite Spear and Club is 3 attacks, 3 up to hit, 3 up to wound, rend 1 and 1 damage. And on the charge, they do an extra damage, and they're also anti-monster, meaning you'll have an additional rend against monsters. They have the exact same Primal Rage ability, so I won't go over it again. The Ripperdactyl Chief has a 14-inch movement, a health of 5, a control of 2, and a save of a 5-up. For attacks, it's got the Ripperdactyl's Tearing Jaws, which are 3 attacks, 4 up to hit, 3 up to wound, rend 1, and damage 1, doing an extra damage on the charge and is a companion weapon. The Skyblade that he has is 5 attacks, 4s to hit, 4s to wound, rend 1, 2 damage, and then if any of the hits are a 6, then you don't have to roll for your wound rolls. Once per battle in your deployment phase, you can receive a Bloat Toad token for each Ripperdactyl Chief or Ripperdactyl's Riders unit in your army to a maximum of 3, which you'll have for this battle. Pick a number of enemy units equal to the number of Bloat Toads you have to be the targets, and place a Bloat Toad next to each of the target. And then once per battle, add 1 to the attacks characteristic of Moonstone War Spears used by friendly Ripperdactyl Riders while they're wholly within 12 of this unit for the rest of the turn. And then the Toad Rage passive is you add 1 to the attacks characteristic of the Ripperdactyl's Tearing Jaws while it's in combat with any of those units that you marked. The Ripperdactyl Riders themselves have a 14-inch move, 3 health, a control of 1, and a 5-up save. Their Moonstone War Spears are 2 attacks, 4 up to hit, 4 up to wound, no rend and 1 damage, but it is a rend against cavalry. And then Ripperdactyl's Tearing Jaws, 3 attacks, 4s to hit, 3s to wound, rend 1, 1 damage, doing extra damage on the charge. They get the same abilities as the Ripperdactyl Chief, so I don't feel like it's necessary to go over those abilities again. On to tactics. Tactics for this list involve a lot of sort of complicated maneuvering. This is a relatively quick army that you'll be using, as it's all cavalry. But on this, we're going to use your Aggradon Lancers as hard-hitting hammers, and you want to keep them in combat as long as possible to keep up with that blood rage that they're able to deal more damage the longer they stay in combat. So you really want this list is really good against armies that like to fight but maybe can't do as much damage, because Aggradon Lancers don't have the toughest armor, but you are able to rip through units. So that would be really strong to be able to go into weaker units, and then just you get your combat, and then hopefully you can charge into another unit the next turn. Your Ripperdactyls you're going to use as scalpels, and this is because they're very fragile, but they can do a lot of damage all at once. Not as much as they used to be able to, but they can be very effective at securing objectives because of their 14-inch move, and then just kind of zipping over the battlefield to try and help where needed most. Your Sword Scar Veteran on Aggradon you should use to fight up against enemy heroes whenever possible, because he can deal a lot of damage, and you want to build up those rage tokens again. Your Ripperdactyl Chief can target wizards and things of that ilk, as he's pretty adept at doing so, and can fly over the enemy battle lines. This is how you're going to want to use this army. And for weaknesses, I think it would struggle against really heavily hitting and high rend armies in melee. It's going to excel against things that either horde armies that don't have a lot of rend, so things like vampires. It might have a decent chance against Skaven as well, but probably struggling against things like maybe Slaves to Darkness if they're going a Chaos Warriors sort of approach, or Blaze of Corn it might have trouble against if they bring their heavily armored cavalry. But against lighter armored things, well, even then, they do have a lot of Rend 2 on the Aggradons, so you can go through heavily armored things. It's just it's a bit of a glass cannon army for sure. But that's about all the tactics I have to give. Let me know in the comments what your favorite way you would maybe want to use this list would be for. Anyways, please comment and subscribe if you liked this video and would like this format that I'm trying out. And I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.